That's what LeWeb is for, helping entrepreneurs succeed. So we like to use what they create as well for our own needs. Next up is, I can't stop laughing. You'll see why in a second. We have Chairman and CEO Misha Lyalin, who is flying straight from Moscow to discuss with Frederic Lardinois. It's amazing how well I can pronounce Frederic's name, who writes for TechCrunch. And both of them are pretty excited. Misha and Frederic, will you join me on stage? Yeah.
What do you know?
What else? What's happening, Misha?
You'll see.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, it's. Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. So maybe I should let you present, but I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. Thank you, Luke. Hello, everyone. And my name is Misha Lyalin. I'm a CEO of a company called ZeptoLab. We're best known for creating a game called Cut the Rope. And we're just going to give you a little bit update since I've been here the last time. So far, we've raked about 250 million downloads. And we have about 50 million monthly active users that use the game 4 times a month. We're on 25% of smartphones in the United States and other developed countries. Some places we get up to 30%, like Australia, Canada, etc. We have largest amount of daily active users in China. But those seem like a lot of big numbers that everybody can kind of cope with. But where's it going? We see that in BRIC countries, the Brazil, Russia, India, China, not even talking about India, the smartphone penetration is less than in the single digits. Tablets are even less. Android has done wonders for smartphones around the world, and therefore, there are companies in China that sell 500,000 devices a day on auctions. Lots of different companies are trying different platforms. I mean, Microsoft is investing billions and billions of dollars into Windows and Windows Phone, etc., and BlackBerry and others. And it remains to be seen who is going to win those smartphone wars. And it's just the very, very beginning. And one thing we know for sure, that content is king. We do a lot of pre-installation of our games onto devices, different devices from different manufacturers, all the way from tablets to smartphones to PCs and so on. And the reason why people want this kind of, want our game on their devices is to show to the users that, yes, my device can also play Cut the Rope and also be powerful enough, and my store has access to content that consumer want. And the fun factor, as I've been talking, Omnom will probably eat about 2 million candies. So when we talk about the audience, I mean, everybody when thinks about mobile games always thinks of those guys, right? And while this is true, our audience is much, much wider. We have kids, we have adults, and we reach them on all sorts of different platforms and places in the world where people can experience our game and our content. We do it for the web as well, so people that don't have access to smartphones can get to the content. And when whole families can play your game, it doesn't mean that they're immediately going to buy your next game. What it means is that they're going to buy some of the content that you produce. And that's why we do things like plush toys, right? I mean, we do great merchandising and licensing program that has started in 2011. And in this year, it has grown significantly. And next year, it's going to grow even more. But we're a game company, right? And when we do merchandise, how can we make it fun? Well, we can attach a very simple label to our toys, to our T-shirts, to any sort of merchandise that we sell, and release a very simple game for free, where this label all of a sudden can become our character, Omnom, in 3D. And you just get a lot of little fun experience that you get from just buying our toy. You can download this game for free on iPhone fairly soon, and you don't even have to buy our merchandise to be able to experience that. But if you do, it brings this extra level personal touch that we as a company give you. We also do animations, and I'll shut up for that one.
Nom Nom, please sit still. Nom Nom, please. Hey, Nom Nom, you're a great artist.
So we do those animations. I mean, we do those shorts. They launched just recently, a few weeks ago. We show them inside the game. We show them on YouTube, and we're striking a lot of different content partnerships now. But why did we do this? I mean, everything that we do starts with the game. Everything that our company does is about the game. So some of the moves you've seen in this short animation might find their ways into the next production from us. But anyway, I'm sure you're all wondering why am I dressed like this. Our new game. We're announcing it today for the first time. Nobody knows about this yet. You will first. This animation was first too. It's going to come out only on Thursday. So, Pudding Monsters. When we created this game, we wanted to make one more game that anybody can pick up and play. Just with cut the rope, you pick up your iPhone, you pick up your tablet, and all you need to know is just how to open up a game. And then it starts by itself, and I have not seen a person who wasn't able to figure this stuff out. Same with Pudding Monsters. We want the game to be as good as cut the rope in terms of pick up and playability. Everything else about this game is very, very different. So the game is called Pudding Monsters. Those guys are pudding monsters, and they want to find that evil, bad man that steals their friends. And they do so by just sticking together to become much bigger. So you basically just experienced the game live on stage.
I have no idea how he got me to do this.
So shall we sit down for the Q&A?
This is supposed to be a serious Q&A. You want to sit down?
Please.
Let's try to sit down here.
It's difficult to sit in those costumes.
This was difficult. Oh. All right. Sticky, too. Where do we start? Your last game, Cut the Rope, you showed the numbers.
Yes.
It did extremely well. How do you follow something like that up?
Well, we just make great games, right? I mean, we're a gaming company, and that's where we start from. We start from making games, and we might never do another Cut the Rope, but what we for sure will do is we will create games that we think that people would want to play.
Can you talk a little bit about what thought went into making this new game? I know you didn't show any of the gameplay today.
No. Well,
but
we
just
did.
maybe the creative process you went through, because you must have tried a lot of different ideas, and you ended up with this.
Yeah, we got stuck together in the office very many times, yes. All of our ideas, or most of our ideas, come up from internal process. Everybody in the company can submit game ideas, and artists help people that can draw to make sketches, and programmers help game designers to make little prototypes. So this is one of the internal concepts that eventually, if you win, your idea gets developed in a prototype. And if your prototype is good, if we all like playing it, then it has a great chance of being developed in a game.
What about the company itself? You were here on stage last year. You gave a little bit of an update. How are you doing today?
Well, we're doing pretty well, even though that we haven't released anything in this year yet. Our numbers at least double. We continue to grow. I mean, the content has been noticed, and people continue to play the game. When I was here last time, there was maybe 100 million downloads and maybe 20 or so monthly active users. Now we're looking at the numbers that are 250 and 50 respectively, and we're gaining every day.
And you told me you're profitable.
Yes.
And you talked a little bit about the merchandising you're doing. That's kind of an interesting aspect of the company. What's your thinking there? Where are you going with that? You did the comic books, you did a couple of other things. What's next?
Oh, we've recently, I mean, obviously we have a merchandising and licensing program now across the world. We started last year in the United States and Canada, and that was good, showed some good tests. So now we've spread it across the world, and more is coming next year. We even signed a deal with Sony Pictures Television to do a live cut-drop game show. Imagine, you know, big production, big stage, and something fun will be happening.
Like this?
Huh?
Like this?
Well, hopefully much more professional and bigger. Anyway, yeah, so we're producing short animated films, and those are getting a lot of attention. We actually like it a lot. So I don't even know where to begin and end. I mean, there's so much more going on that, and as I showed you the numbers, we're just at the very, very beginning of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, this new game that you didn't show too much of, but which obviously includes pudding in some form. There's lots of, I've played it, and there's lots of anonymous blobs of pudding around. There's no Om-Nom, the kind of likable, cute character you had in Cut the Rope. What does it mean for your merchandising?
It doesn't mean that every game that I ever do must have merchandising component to it, right? Because the economics are different. The way you used to launch those characters, right? I mean, you would produce a TV show, for example. The amount you spend on TV show, you know, the several series or whatever, will be greater than the amount of money you'll make from TV show. Just straight up, right? And then you have to do merchandising, you have to do licensing programs just to make your money back, and then some. In our economy, it doesn't have to happen, right? I mean, games themselves are incredibly profitable and great, great content that people love, and people get it, you know, people get it for free, people pay for it through in applications, advertising. It doesn't really matter what models or combination of models we use. We still can make really great money there. But having said that, with Cut Rope, we learned. I mean, we've set up the structure. Our company is much, much bigger now and is able to handle this kind of stuff. So if pudding monsters become a hit or a phenomenon of some sort, then we're definitely prepared to take it forward. And we have some ideas behind our sleeves, too.
Now, I did play Pudding Monsters a little bit yesterday. You showed it to me. It's a very fun, very addictive game. But
thank you.
What did you learn from doing Cut the Rope? You said you learned a lot about the merchandising and all those things. But what about the gameplay? What did you learn from just watching people play Cut the Rope, and how did that influence what you did with Pudding Monsters?
We saw, it's a very good question. We saw, first of all, we were kind of surprised how many people were actually able to play it. Second of all, we were surprised about ultimate virality of this game, because people just showed it to each other and said, hey, you know, you've seen this game, you got to play it. It's so viral that our users, I mean, we don't pay, we don't advertise. Almost none. I mean, we get all the users that we get for free. It's very, very important. I'm sure there was other people talking here explaining how difficult it is to get users now on mobile device to get your game. Even if you pay for a user, only half of them even will open your games. We're in a very different stage, and that's very fortunate. So that's what we learned. We learned that pick up and play is the most important thing. We also learned that our audience is so much wider than any traditional audience because we've tried a lot of different advertising, and the least number of clicks would get things like farms or strategy games or anything that right now makes huge amounts of money in the freemium model, just because our audience is so wide, there's only a small percentage of that audience wants that kind of experience.
Now you say you don't advertise, but you've got this huge audience right now for Cut the Rope. Are you planning to funnel all those players somehow into Pudding Monsters coming, in 2 weeks?
Absolutely, absolutely, and that would be stupid of us not to do that. The fundamental marketing that we want to do that we're doing for this game is from the creators of Cut the Rope, right? That's pure media entertainment kind of proposition. If you like what we've done last time, check it out. We give you a promise that you will just be able to pick it up and play. That's all we're going to promise you. The rest, maybe it will be fun for you. Maybe you'll get addicted to it in a good way. Maybe not. It's all up to you. But you'll be able to pick it up and play it for sure.
Let's maybe switch gears a little bit and talk about just the gaming market in general. There's a lot of competition these days. There's a lot of games out there. One thing a lot of people complain about is that it's hard to find the good stuff in all those stores.
It's very true.
How are you overcoming that, besides advertising or funneling people through Cut the Rope?
Well, so first of all, again, because we have a brand, every weekend goes up. And whenever new content arrives, it goes down a little bit because of all this money that gets pushed into advertising. But when people actually want to get their content, they ask their friends. And that's a big deal. We obviously work a lot with press and every possible gaming magazine and any possible, or not any possible, but very many publications have reviewed our game. So that's very important for us. We're using mechanisms to reach our audience that is much wider than just App Store.
I've got a feeling these pictures from this session will be tweeted out quite actively. Now, talking about your development for a moment, you're about 50 people in the company at this point, I think.
We have, over 50 people.
Over 50 people.
We started with 2 people less than 2 years ago.
And you're on virtually every platform imaginable, maybe with the exception of BlackBerry.
We're coming, actually.
How do you handle that, being on all these platforms?
So we have a very simple principle. If the platform is sizable, if there are people on this platform, and if we're able to provide great experience, we deliver. If not, then not. And great experience starts from App Store all the way to the game. So, for example, if on device, people can't find our content, there is no point releasing there.
Mm-hmm. I noticed you were one of the first games on Windows 8. How is that going for you?
Under NDA. It's going, actually. I think we've just seen the first numbers. It's growing. We'll see how well Microsoft and its partners will do a job with tablets, but I think that's where Windows 8 has a chance. It remains to be seen. It's too early to tell.
Now, one of the reasons you were on Windows 8 was because it's HTML5. And just from that development perspective, do you see that as a road to go on for mobile development? Is that something you guys are looking at, or do you focus more on the native experience still?
Well, native experience, native is important to deliver the maximum performance, maximum everything you can get, right? And obviously, native isn't going to die anytime soon. However, there is a big problem on smartphone devices and tablets and Android, iOS, any of those platforms that it's like 20 years ago. Right? You have one application, you have another application, and you can't really link between them. So therefore, economics are different. Therefore, a lot of things are different. HTML5 is an important technology, and we wanted to develop this game in HTML5 just to show to ourselves and show to the world that, OK, it works. It will work on your tablet, too. It just might be too slow. So we're definitely looking that way. We're definitely investing a lot into new technologies. And I wouldn't say jury is out who is going to win. I think those phones obviously is going to move to more of the web model as opposed to just applications and native.
And just switching back to your idea, your philosophy of developing games, you say on your website, I think, that you're about the science of fun. If I remember that right. Do you think you've cracked the science of fun?
We certainly did with Cut the Rope. We'll see if, how successful we're going to be doing it in the future. You know, we've built a company, and so we have, next year, we have, instead of just one game, we have 5 or so games coming out. More of Cut the Rope, more of Home Gnome, and more of just new titles, new games like this, or maybe even something else. We'll see.
Well, last time you were here, a year ago, you said you want to get to 1 billion downloads as soon as possible. When are you going to get there?
I wouldn't say as soon as possible. I'd say that we're going to get there, for sure. If we continue to produce great games, if we stay true to our core, and if we don't deviate too much from what we need to do best, I think it's just a matter of time, because, I mean, you've seen, there are more than 1 billion people in the world, right? So, I mean, everybody's going to get a tablet, a smartphone, or something along those lines, one way or the other. We're on 25 to 30% of those right now. You do the math, I think we can get much bigger than that, if we stay current, of course. Pudding Monsters is much more advanced in terms of graphic, and I think we're proud. We're proud from game design, graphics, everything, how fast it is. We moved very far from Cut the Rope in those 2 years.
All right, we'll see you again once you hit those 1 billion downloads.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are hot. There's something you should try, though. You need to, like, wait.
You want to stick as
well?
Yes,
yes, you should.
Stick to us?
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
When you see the game, it will make a lot more sense.
Oh, OK. Great. Frederic, you should do that each time.
Thank you.
Well, next time I'll use
You're
another
aware
costume.
you just ruined your reputation, right?
I totally did. My days as a serious journalist just ended today.
As long as you're aware of it, Frederic,
I'm aware of it.
that's fine.